Where are they all?
What a stink!
Danford, light the lantern.
Oh my God!
On December 20th, 1930, the leadership of the Miskatonic University sent a scientific expedition to Antarctica in order to study the geology of the continent. My name is William Dyer. I led this expedition. The little explored continent promised us many discoveries. However, Professor Lake was convinced that we should deviate from the planned path to explore the area where, in his opinion, we could make truly sensational finds. I was against it, but he still agreed to send some of our specialists with him.
Lake and a few other scientists are on their way. They were supposed to keep us informed of all the discoveries made by the group.
In Arkham, our trip was widely covered by the press. We ourselves generously shared any information. However, a number of subsequent events prompted us to carefully edit our radio messages. It was with great excitement that we received the news of the discoveries that Lake and his comrades had made in these lost lands. Scientists have discovered 14 fossils belonging to individuals unknown to science. These organisms were brought to the camp, and Lake began to actively study them. He only parked those who suffered the most damage. Lake was amazed that the high temperature maintained in the tent had no effect on the amazing density of the creature's skeng. Once upon a time, Danford Lake and I studied the sinister Necronomicon in detail. There we read about incredible creatures, that they came down from the distant stars at the beginning of time, and they gave birth to life on Earth. Based on his deep knowledge of folklore and with his own rich imagination, he called them elders, like creatures from the hidden Necronomicon. Dogs couldn't stand the elders, and people were uncomfortable in their presence.
Calm down, they're dead.
In his last message, Lake reported on the impending snowstorm, as well as the unusually aggressive behavior of dogs.
We couldn't find out anything else. At night, radio contact with Lake's base was cut off. There was no limit to our worries. And so we stand here and try to figure out what fate befell our colleagues and comrades. Poor Lake. Who could have done such a thing?
Professor Dyer, everyone is dead here. No one survived. What are the instructions?
I don't understand what happened here. What madness. Let's go outside. My friends, something terrible and irreparable has happened to our comrades. Professor Lake and all his companions are dead, and we couldn't identify the killers. We have no choice but to take the necessary precautions, continue the investigation, and try to clarify the circumstances of the tragedy. These mountains are simply incredible. Lake managed to make amazing discoveries. I think we should make one last foray and try to get behind this mountain range before we complete this nightmarish journey. Danford?
Yes?
I'm going to need a pilot. Are you ready to come with me?
Yes, of course.
Good. Then warm up the engine. We're leaving now.
Dyer, I'm going to try to land on that pad now, the right place.
And so, we decided to thoroughly explore this unknown, monstrous city.
Oh my God, they came here from outer space. At a time when the Earth was still young and lifeless, the elders came from other worlds to populate it. Using their incredible technology, they created the first living cells and let them evolve. They created protoplasmic masses capable of taking any shape under the hypnotic influence of their hosts. They were ideal slaves for building vast megacities. Undoubtedly, it was these creatures that the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazrab called in his Necronomicon, Shoggoths. The elders multiplied by spores. It was a civilization of scientists. Their social structure could be characterized as socialism. So they became the rulers of our planet. But their reign did not last long. For new conquerors have arrived from the infinite cosmos, octopus-like creatures known to demonologists as the spawn of Cthulhu. The Immortals, these ferocious killers, greedy for death and destruction, have built a cyclopean stone city. There they reveled in the anticipation of the coming bloody orgy lasting forever. When the elders realized that they were doomed in a fight with the Cthulhu race, they decided to resort to desperate measures. For they knew other gods, and worshipped them, terrible god-abominable entities, living in inaccessible parallel dimensions. And although the elders themselves were afraid of them, they nevertheless called upon other gods to put an end to the irrepressible frenzy of Cthulhu. spawn of Cthulhu were imprisoned at the bottom of the ocean, where they languish waiting for the stars to take a favorable position. After the defeat of Cthulhu, quiet times came, but peace was not destined to last long. The Shoggoths, formerly obedient slaves, began to show some mental abilities. Soon a bloody uprising broke out, for which the elders were completely unprepared. To pacify the obstinate rebels, they had to use weapons of unprecedented power. But the end of the Great Age of the Elders was marked by a completely different event. The Ice Age has come, the strongest cold snap in history, which they couldn't survive. So the civilization of the elders fell.
Amazing. Dyer, what was that?
I don't know. Let's go take a look.
No, no, no. It can't be. It's just impossible.
And yet the elders turned out to be akin to people. After sleeping for millions of years, waking up in a completely alien world, attacked by scary creatures that have never been seen before. Turned into pathetic test subjects. They were just trying to defend themselves. They returned to their city, hoping to find their brethren. And when the tragic fate of their race was revealed to them, they realized that they were the last representatives of their kind. But what has ruined them now? Is there really anyone left alive in this nightmarish city?
Danford, let's run.
That's all that happened to us in these monstrous ridges of madness.
The world was not ready for such revelations, and we didn't say a word about our trip. I recovered from the shock pretty quickly. However, Durnford was not so lucky. He is being held in Arkham Psychiatric Hospital, and God knows if he will ever come to his senses. I didn't notice the connection between the various events before, which are reported in the headlines of the newspapers. The fall of a strange meteorite on the outskirts of Arkham. Unexplained finds in the forests of Vermont. A terrible epidemic has struck the inhabitants of Innsmouth. The phenomenon of a man predicting terrible catastrophes.
Terrible times are coming. Think about it.
We live in a universe of chaos. There is no place for humanity here. How could he not be found for the unfortunate elders? I know something terrible is going to happen, but I have nothing to lose. Now I'm just a dispassionate observer.
The stars have taken a favorable position. The beast will rise from the depths. Man's days on earth are numbered.